to my channel. So this is the video that you've all been waiting for. This is going to be my 1 month post-op update, basically. This is the first update that we have actually got round to doing since having my gastric sleeve operation. If you don't know what a gastric sleeve operation is, it's basically weight loss surgery, basically, that's what it is. And what they do with that is they have removed 85% of my stomach, left me with 15% of my stomach. I will be on tablets for the rest of my life. Yeah, so let's just get into the whole story time and update, and let's just crack on with it. So, on the day of my operation, I had to be up for 3 o'clock in the morning, and we had to leave at 4:30. Because my appointment at hospital was actually at 7 o'clock in the morning. So we got there, we had to do a bit of a trek like you normally do when you go into hospital. But this hospital I went to, it's huge. I was on ward 310. Can you believe that? 310. It is a massive hospital. So yeah, it was, as I say, a big hospital, and when we got there we had to sit in the corridor to wait for the doors to open, and it was just packed, and me and my dad was like, oh my gosh, we're going to be here for ages, but actually we wasn't. So we went into the first waiting room, signed in, and one by one we got called up. Everybody wasn't there for the weight loss surgery. There was all there for all different reasons. There was only 2 of us there actually for the weight loss surgery. And I did talk to the woman because she was on the same ward as me after the operation. So, first step was I had to go into the waiting room, of course, but then they took me into a separate room, me and this girl, into a separate room on our own. And I had roughly about 6 different nurses, including my surgeon, come see me. I had my bloods done, I had my things like the temperature done, my weight, yeah, just things like that. Then some of the nurses gave me some advice. I had one nurse that came to me that showed me a breathing machine technique thing that I had to use, and I had to also bring that home. I can't show you because I have actually binned it because I don't need it now, which I don't know why I binned it, because I could have showed you and it would have been a lot more easier, but noggins here didn't think of the best thing to do. So anyway, what it was basically, it's just a breathing thing. Normally when you get a breathing machine you think that you have to breathe in, but this one you don't, you have to suck. And you have a yellow ball in like a tube, and it has like different faces on, sad, happy, and then another sad. So you have to get this ball into the centre of the middle with a happy face. So the first time I did it, I got it spot on, perfect. And the nurse said to me, don't worry if you can't do that after the operation, it's normal, it happened, but you will get back to normal. So I was like, oh, okay then. So then she put the breathing apparatus thing into my bag, my stay-over bag, and she gave me some paperwork to put in there as well. I also had to take to hospital any medication that I was already on. So of course we all know that I've got diabetes, so I had to take that with me. I had to take my depression tablets, yeah, just things like that. So basically I had to take my metformin, I had to take my Staccato and my diazepam. So yeah, I had to take all of that. Before my operation, my doctor, my normal doctors actually told me to stop all medication 2 days before my surgery. So obviously I did that. When I was seeing all these 6 doctors in the waiting room, not one of them told me when to start on my medication again. So I just left it to them. I let them decide when the best time was for me to go back on them, because that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to tell you everything. So after that waiting room, which was in there for around about, I'd say an hour, 1 hour maybe, then they asked us to go back into the big waiting room where everybody else was, so we did. And then we had to go on a trek. So whoever else was in this waiting room, everybody had to go. I'd say there were roughly about 20 of us. The group kind of went smaller. So yeah, there was about 20 of us in this waiting room, so we all had to walk to the last waiting room, which I would say was about a 25 to half an hour walk. So yeah, we went there, and you didn't have to sign in there, you just had to sit down and wait for your name to be called for your surgery. So in this waiting room, I'd say, let's just fast forward it a little bit because it's going to be a little bit long if I don't. So I didn't get called up anyway until it was 10:30. So I was supposed to be in surgery for 7, didn't quite work out like that. The other girl who was having surgery as well, she went first before me. So then I went, as I say, my name got called at 10:30. So yeah, I went just round the corner into this room where another nurse brought me a gown, and she told me just to slip everything off, keep my knickers on. I can keep my bra on if it has no wiring. Well, at the time I had a sports bra on, so I was okay to leave that on. And yeah, I just put the gown on with the dressing gown as my dad was waiting outside the room, of course. And then I nipped to the loo, and are they called a portsman? A portsman? I'm sure that's what they call it here in the UK. I'm not quite sure, but anyway, a gentleman came and picked me up. Not literally picked me up, but he come to get me. I didn't go down in a bed, I walked down. So yeah, I walked down to surgery. First stop was in another waiting room. And that's at the point where my dad had to leave me there. My dad was not allowed to go any further, so my dad left me. The gentleman took me in to the waiting room. There was just a little girl there with a mum, and a man that was sat right at the opposite. And as soon as I sat down, what has to happen? I have a panic attack. Oh, so the reception woman, nurse type woman, came over and calmed me down. She said everything would be alright. So anyway, I was okay after that. I wasn't allowed anything to drink or eat before my operation. Then another woman come out who took me to the drug room. So I went to the room and I had to take my dressing gown off and unfasten my gown at the back and just lie down on the bed. She informed me that we're just waiting for the man to come and put me to sleep, basically. So there was me, her, and there was another bloke in there who was a trainee nurse who was just learning the ins and outs, basically, of what goes on in that room. He was very, very polite, very, very lovely, really nice, and they both looked after me tremendous. I spoke to them about a lot of different things. It really calmed me down, actually. One thing that I find that when I get nervous, I talk and talk until you just can't shut me up, basically. It's like when you get me drunk. You just can't shut me up. So, yeah, then the man came in who put me to sleep. And funnily enough, the first words that come out of my mouth, let's make me beautiful. I was high, let's put it like that. I was high off the drugs. They give me one injection where the room just literally started spinning so fast, and I just felt like I was stoned out of my face and drunk. I was, I don't know, I was just completely out of it with the fairies. But I do remember saying, okay, let's make me beautiful. And then they put me to sleep. Bump. And I could hear the nurse laughing when they put me to sleep. So anyway, then I wake up in recovery. I woke up with no pain whatsoever. And again, I had a trainee nurse, a woman, that was with me. When she was actually holding my hand when I woke up. She was really, really such a lovely trainee nurse. She really was. I could actually see myself being friends with her. But yeah, she was really, really a genuinely lovely person. I spoke to her about diamond painting, all sorts of different things. She calmed me down. And then she went to take this... Oh, what do you call them? I can't remember what you call them, but it's where they put drugs in you and that. So she took this out and blood was just spewing everywhere. But I weren't in any pain. I weren't in no pain with no stomach. I had no trapped wind pain on my shoulders whatsoever. Nothing hurt, literally. So she had to hold this stuff down, like cotton wool, just to try and stop the blood, but it would not stop bleeding for 20 minutes. So anyway, she finally did it, but I had another one in here as well. So we kept that one in because of other drugs, of course. And then, after a while, they wheeled me down onto the ward. So I had no complications whatsoever with my operation. When I think I fell asleep again on the ward, because I don't remember being pushed down to the ward. But I do remember when I got on the ward and I woke up with these, you know them things that they put on your arms to pump up? I can't think what you call them, but anyway, I had 2 of those on both legs, and they kept pumping up and then releasing. Pumping up, and I had to go with 1 night with them on my legs. It drove me insane. But they weren't painful. Not as painful as the ones that you have in the arms. Sometimes you can feel them pinching your skin, the ones on your arm. But the ones on the legs, they were actually alright. So, all that, I had all my meds okay. And I was allowed water straight after my op. So, I was sipping on water. I would say I could manage about that much water as a sip. And even sometimes that might have just been a little bit too much before it hurt my stomach. So I'd say half of that tub there, about that, and I was good to go. So yeah, I kept sipping and sipping and sipping. After the first night, because I weren't allowed nothing to eat again on the first day, just sipping on that water, sipping on no added sugared cordial, I was allowed to do that on the first day. Then on the next day, I was allowed food. So not proper food though, it had to be soup, which had been watered down with milk and no lumps. And I must say, the soup in the hospital was absolutely gorgeous. It was beautiful. So yeah, I had some of those. It didn't feel weird or anything, but you did get full really, really quick. So yeah, that's basically what I was living on in hospital for the 4 days that I was in, was chicken soup. I started talking to people on the ward. Everybody really, really lovely. The one thing that did scare me was when I came around a bit when I was on the ward, the other girl who had the operation, when I woke up, she was screaming, crying, kicking in bed. She couldn't walk, she couldn't get out of bed, she couldn't eat, drink, she could not do nothing. And I started panicking. I thought, oh my goodness, I really hope I'm not going to be like that when all of the drugs have worn off, you know, the painkillers and whatnot. But thank the Lord of mercy, I was actually okay. I was perfectly fine. Now, when it comes to walking, the first day after my operation, I was actually walking. I forgot to mention that part. I was actually walking. I wasn't meant to walk for 4 hours after my operation. I lasted about an hour in bed till I was bursting for the toilet. And I shouted for the nurse, and I was like, I need to go for a wee. She says, we can bring you a bedpan. I said, no, not going on one of them. I don't like them. We can bring you a side potty. No, not using that. I want to go to the toilet, because where my bed was, it was literally just right opposite the bed. I said, no, I really want to go to the toilet. I said, you know, I'm not invalid, I can make it to that toilet. She said, are you sure? I said, I can make it to that toilet. I said, I'm not having a bedpan and I'm not having a potty. We're going to that toilet. And she was like, okay, let's give it a go. So anyway, I took my time getting up and I sat on the edge of the bed. Now, when I got on the edge of the bed, I did feel, not pain, I'd say a little bit of discomfort. That's what I felt, just a little bit of discomfort. There were no serious pain going on. Again, felt no track wind at all. when I stood up, it felt like I was stretching my stomach, if that makes sense. I was stretching the inside. So I just really had to take my time. And the way that I coped when I was going to the toilet for the first time, where the porthole is, where they remove my stomach, I just put one hand on it and I pressed deep into my stomach. A bit like if you're going to get a cushion and really push it into your stomach for that security. And that seemed to really, really help me. So I managed to waddle myself to the toilet. Sorry, there's a fly. But yeah, I got myself to the toilet. Sitting on the toilet was a little bit of a different experience. Getting my underwear down was a bit fun. They told me that I wasn't allowed to lock the door because if I fell or struggled to get my knickers up or anything like that, then they would come straight in and help me. But I managed to get on the toilet, did my business. Wiping was a little bit different. I normally wipe with my right hand, but because my porthole is on my right side, I could not bend to do that. So obviously I had to do it with my left hand. So that was a little bit more easy. I found it more manageable to do it with my other hand. So yeah, I basically found little tricks and ways on how to cope, basically. So after that, I just went straight for a walk. I didn't bother getting back in bed. The nurse said it was okay, take my time, no rush here. So yeah, I basically took my time and I went walking. The nurses couldn't believe how well I was doing because I was just going like the clappers, just going up and down, up and down. And it actually helped to bring wind up. I'm not saying that I didn't have any track wind, but I didn't have the pain of the shoulders. A lot of people, when they have this operation, they will get a lot of pain in their neck, in their shoulders, and in their chest. I didn't. I did not get any pain at all in my shoulders or my neck. It was completely fine. I did get, I'd say probably 20% of track wind in my chest. Now the way that I coped with that, I winded myself like a baby. I tapped and it automatically brought the wind up, and I actually give that little bit of advice to the other woman who had it done because she was really struggling. And when I told her just to tap your chest like a baby and give it a rub and tap again, she started doing that and she started bringing wind up. So I kind of helped her. Sickness. I did feel a little bit sick in hospital. I think, well, I didn't actually throw up, but I was nearly sick about 3 times. I was nearly sick in hospital. I've just got all my notes here now what to talk about. So let me just see what else we need to cover on this. So we've talked about all of that. I did have an accident in hospital. Now, one thing that they didn't tell me in hospital was after your operation, the women go through a very serious heavy period. Now, before my operation, I was already on my woman's cycle and it was just normal. It wasn't heavy at all. It was just normal. And then after my operation, oh my goodness, I don't think I've ever had such a severe period in all of my life. And touch wood, it's only just nearly stopped today. Touch wood. So, it was that bad. I bled all over the bed. It was a mess, you guys. Bit of grossness there to talk about, but it's true. Let's see here. So on the, I think it was the 3rd day, I asked the women to weigh me. And I actually did put on 4 pounds. Now, that is normal. So the nurses have told me that it is absolutely normal. It's just because we've come out of theatre and they're pumping all of this. Well, obviously you've got trapped air in your body. Then your body's bloated as well, especially your tummy's going to be bloated. And then they're pumping all of this liquid into your body, and that's what puts that little bit of weight on. But they did assure me that the week after it'll just drop, and it did. So There was one thing that I wasn't happy with in hospital. Because nobody told me when to take my depression tablets or even my diabetes tablets, I did have a breakdown. Now, I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was coming. I could feel it building up on the second day. But this actually happened on the third day this happened. And again, it was a different trainee nurse. And I basically was sat in the chair because it's comfy for me to sit in the chair at that point. And I broke down in tears. Just automatically come on, bump. And I was a mess, you guys. And I won't lie, I had some nasty thoughts come into my head, which we will not go into, but yeah. And this is all because I didn't take my depression tablets. So I did ask the nurses, I kept saying, when should I start taking my tablets again? When should I take my tablets? And nobody gave me an answer. I just basically got ignored. So that was that. That's why we had this breakdown. Anyway, this new trainee nurse came up to me, saw me crying, came up and said, "Oh, what's the matter, Kim? Can I help you? What's upset you?" And I explained to her that I haven't had my depression tablets. I'm having a breakdown. I don't feel so well. I'm having all these thoughts in my head. And she just looked at me, tilted her head, and she went, "Oh, right." And then she walked off laughing, I might add. She walked off laughing, shaking her head. I was not impressed. I was literally just about to get out of my chair to go and have a word with her. But thank the Lord of mercy, the nurse saw what happened. The sister of the ward saw what happened, and she pulled me back into my seat. She didn't pull me back in my seat. She put me back in my seat, and she asked me what that trainee nurse had just said to me to really upset me. I said she didn't say anything to upset me. I was already upset. She was coming asking me what was going on. I told her, and that's what she said to me. This is what she did. And she went, "Really? Well, I'm not going to have that in my hospital, especially on my ward. I'm not going to be putting up with that. I'm going to deal with her right now." So she actually went and grabbed her and had a word with her there and then on the spot. And the next morning, she actually came up to me, the trainee nurse came up to me and apologised to me for what she said and did. So at least I got an apology. So yeah, I just was not happy with that. But apart from that, everything else in hospital was brilliant. So what else? Going home. So on the fifth day, was it? Something like that. I can't quite remember, guys. But anyway, on the day of going home, that's something else actually that we'll talk about first. I was just waiting for my tablets on the third day. I should have actually gone home on the third day. But, and that's when that incident happened as well. It was on the third day, sorry, not the fourth. But, so yeah, I was waiting for my tablets, but it was going to be too late because, you know, I completely understood. I completely got it. They do have, well, over hundreds of patients to deal with the medicine. So, you know, I wasn't humming and hawing about it. I completely understood. So they allowed me to stay one more night so I could receive my medication the next day. So yeah, anyway, that's why I had to stay in 4 days. But anyway, my dad come pick me up on the fourth day. We managed to get to the car very, very slowly. I was in a little bit of pain with the porthole. That was the only issue that has been giving me jip, is the porthole. That's the only pain that I had. So yeah, basically we got to the car. My dad took his time, bless him. He drove really, really slow home. Then when I got home, I didn't have anything to eat. I was just more bothered about having some sleep and my painkillers. So then the next day when I woke up, I'm not going to go through every single day, but I just really wanted to tell you everything that happened, my experience in hospital. I also did not get time to vlog any of the hospital because I realised that after my operation I just really wanted to concentrate on getting my arse out of bed, making sure I could get to that toilet on time with the heavy periods, resting and trying to get all my liquids down and food that I could. That's all I really wanted to concentrate on. So I do apologise if you wanted the vlogs, but I just realised I could not do it. I did take some photos, however, but they're going to be put on Facebook at some point today. So, yeah, I started having soup at home. So as soon as I got home, I was basically on the liquid diet still. So I had to do 2 weeks again of the liquid diet. So basically we was on these soups. What else did I have? Soups, no added sugar jellies, no added sugar ice lollies. I had to have 1 pint of milk every day. A slim fast, I was on them, water, coffee, tea without the sugar, and I made sure that my coffee is decaf. So yeah, that's basically that. I got everything down pretty good. That's basically it. And then I just had a lot of pain from my porthole. That's it. So I did that for 2 weeks. No exercise allowed. Basically, I'm on recovery for 6 weeks. So I'm not allowed to do any exercise for 6 weeks. So then the next 2 weeks, I was on, what was we on? Puree food. Now with puree, I was allowed to have soups again, slim fast still, yogurt still, ice lollies still. I was allowed to have no added sugar or low fat yogurt, so I could have those, which I just managed to get down a baby size of yogurt, and that actually seemed to be the perfect size for my stomach at the time. Yeah, just puree food. Baby food if you can handle it. I don't recommend it, but there you go. So things like that. Still had the pain of the porthole. Them 2 weeks of doing that stage. Then I was on mashed side. Mashed food. So that's what... Yeah, the mashed food, things like mashed potato, jacket potato, all of that kind of stuff. Anything that is mashed and all of that. It's basically the same thing. I did throw up a couple of times when I got to that stage though. I got full so easily. 2 spoonfuls and I was done. If I tried a third one, I'd just throw it all back up. I've had a little bit of trouble with 2 of my other wounds, which we're going to talk about at the end of this video. I will show you all the wounds at the end of this video. So, if you're squeamish, you might not want to watch that part, but that's going to be at the end. So then, I had to do 2 weeks of that. Still had pain with the porthole. Of course, I was taking all of my tablets. And the first 4 weeks, I had to inject myself in the stomach. The lower part of my stomach. I had to do 1 injection at 10 o'clock every morning. It did not hurt at all. I didn't even feel the needle go in. I even watched my own needle go in. Did not hurt one bit. It was great. So yeah, there was that. Then I came home with 11 different things that I had to take. I am now currently down to... I think I'm down to about... Hold on. About 5 tablets now. I'm down. No, 7 tablets I'm down to now. So that's really, really good. I was also when I first came home, taking all the tablets all perfectly fine in the morning. But then, out of nowhere, just one morning, I started feeling very, very ill. Deeply, deeply sick. To the point where I was throwing up, like, really, really bad. I then figured out that maybe I'm taking too many tablets in the morning. So yeah, basically what I started doing, I started splitting my tablets up. So I take all of my tablets apart from my vitamin tablets, which was only 2. So I take them in the afternoon now, and all the sickness has stopped. I'm still yet to take my vitamin tablets, actually. I've just reminded myself. But yes, I have gone off food as well. Before my operation, I used to be absolutely mad on salmon. You guys know that. Now, I throw up if I have salmon. I just don't like it. There was a theory going around saying that after the operation, you do not like chocolate, you do not like sweets, you don't like cakes, you don't like biscuits, crisps, etc, etc, blah, blah. I wanted to put this theory to the test. I was like, you know what? Is that true or is it not? Is it just something that people say so you don't eat it? And at the time, my mum had some, what do you call them? I'll think in a minute. She had some chocolate ice lolly things. I can't think that. Magnums, there you go. She had some double chocolate Magnums in the freezer. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to test this. Just out of curiosity to see if it's true. So I got a Magnum and I bit into the Magnum chocolate. First bite that I did, I threw up like The Exorcist. And I'm not kidding you. The smell of it kind of made me a bit queasy. But I thought, well, you know, I've just had the operation. Maybe it's just a bit of a coincidence. I'm still going to try it. I wish I never did. I wish I never did. And now, the smell of chocolate makes me physically throw up. So I do not like chocolate at all. And I'm not even going to put the rest of that stuff to the theory test. I'm not even going to do it because it's not nice. Yeah, I don't even like the chocolate Slim Fast anymore. I can't even stomach the smell of that. It makes me throw up. There's just a lot of stuff. Mac cheese. You know that cheese in pasta? Macaroni cheese? Makes me throw up. Anything that I really don't like anymore just makes me throw up. Kippers. That's one of the worst. Makes me throw up. So anyway, now I'm on the stage of soft foods. So I've got, I think it's 1 more week of soft food, I think. I think so. Or maybe, I can't quite remember actually. I don't know. I'll have to have a look downstairs because I can't remember. But I can eat 1 scrambled egg without any butter or marge. I just dry cook it without any salt and pepper, and I love it. It fills my stomach up. It's really, really nice. So yeah. I'm okay with drinks. I'm drinking quite a lot. Now I can't remember exactly how much I'm drinking. Since I've had my operation, I have lost 1.5 stone. And a couple of pounds. So right from the beginning before my operation, like 2 years before my operation, I've had to work my arse off for 2 years to get this operation, okay? That's what you have to do. You have to go see a doctor, and then you have to go see dietitians that will put you on a diet before your operation, and all of that sort of good stuff. So right from the beginning, which was 2 years ago, up to now, I have lost 4.5 stone and a couple of pounds. Now, when I went in on the day of my operation, they weighed me and I was 18 stone 2 or 3. Now I'm 16 stone 5. So I've done extremely, extremely well. I'm so excited. I am next due in the hospital in a week and a half time on the 15th of October. So I think that's a week and a half time, but it's on the 15th of October anyway. That's when I'm going into the hospital for a weigh-in, and we're going to talk about how I'm doing with the food side. Have I had any bleeding from the back end? Because if you get bleeding from the back end, I will be straight back into hospital for checks and what they have to do, you know. So yes, life has just begun for me, guys. That is everything I'm going to update you with today. I think we've gone through a lot. I don't have a clue how long this video is going to be, But I don't mind, because it's worth it to let you guys know exactly what's going on. I know some of you have been worried, some of you have been excited for this video. So that is everything that has been happening. The hospital did tell me that I wasn't allowed to walk the dog, but I have been a little bit naughty, and I have took her for one walk with my dad. My dad held the lead. I can't hold the lead. We're pulling in that. But I was perfectly fine when I went for that walk, and I take her to the top here just for a wee. I do take her to do that on my own, which I'm not really allowed. But I do, just to give my dad a break, because my mum and dad have not been well. And when I say well, I mean seriously not well. My dad's only just come out of hospital. My mum has C. diff again. Can you believe this, guys? It makes me so angry. Stepping Hospital. Thank goodness I did not go to Stepping Hospital. I went to Derby Royal Hospital. Thank goodness. Because God knows what disease I would have come out with if I would have survived it. But it's terrible. So my mum has been diagnosed with that again. Me and my dad actually had to go to hospital for my dad a couple of weeks ago, because he's been feeling a little bit under the weather. And they actually said he's had a mini heart attack, which none of us knew. So, as you could imagine, it's been very, very stressful. And even though I was in a lot of pain with this porthole, I did not want my dad to go on his own. So I went with my dad. I don't care about resting. My dad's more important, and my mum's more important to me than resting up. So yeah, I had to go there with my dad, and they confirmed that he had a mini heart attack. He's okay now. He's perfectly fine now. But now... Well, yesterday he got rushed into hospital. Not yesterday, was it yesterday? No, 2 days ago he got rushed into hospital with severe pain in his stomach, and he's just come home yesterday, and they reckon he's got gallstones. So we're all just having a rough time here today. Well, I have for the past month. Oh, my mum is just not getting a break from the C. diff, bless her, and I can't believe my dad has had a mini heart attack. That has just broke everybody's heart in the family. So, anywho, that is what's going on there. So, yes, bear with me. I will definitely be having a lot more videos coming up. I have 2 hauls and another clothing haul, which my mum has emptied a wardrobe and given me all of her brand new clothes. And I had a friend come round that delivered a load of CDs, but I don't know if you guys want to see that or not. Comment down below if you want to see the CD haul that I have. But there's that. I will now show you my stomach. If you don't like seeing scars, they're not open wounds, don't get me wrong, it's not that sort of gruesome. We are like a month ahead now of the operation, so some of them are pretty healed, 2 of them are scabbed, so it's not that bad. But if you are squeamish, I suggest you don't look. I'm just going to lower this a little bit, and I'm going to see if we can show you. You're probably going to get all fatness in your face now, but whatever. So, I don't know if you can see that one there. I hope you can. But that one is the worst at the minute. When I pull the scab back, it just oozes all this yellow stuff. I think it may be a little bit infected, so I need to go to the doctors about that. Then I have, if I lower you down, hoping that you can see these, but I have another one there. One there. There. And that is my porthole, where it has been absolutely killing me. I just hope that you can see these and you're not just seeing bare skin or anything else. So let's just pop you back up. I hope you did see them. I'm going to check it first, and if not, I'll just remove that part of the video and I'll just put some photo shots in. So that is that. Clothes have started going baggy. I have got a bag here, I'll show you this, a big bag full of clothes going to charity, or I might even sell them. I don't know what to do yet. These jeans that I've got on just drop off my booty. I need to buy a belt. So yeah, it is really, really good. I'm trying to think of anything else that we need to update you with. Hair loss. Okay, so there's a lot of talk when you look at these videos on YouTube about hair loss. I have lost some hair. As you can see, Now, keeping in mind that my hair does need dyeing again. This is why you're seeing all these streaks here. That's not through hair loss. That's just because I need to dye my hair. But right here, I've gone thin. You can see it looks like baby hair now. So yeah, it looks like baby hair. Around here, it's gone a little bit thin. And again, baby hair here. Yeah, it's not that bad. I haven't lost a great deal, to be honest. But before my operation, I was losing a lot of hair anyway, so... But like I say, these little lines that you see like that, it's just because I need to dye my hair. It's a bit... Ugh, my hair's crap at the minute. So yes, that is all of the updates. If you have any questions, please do drop them down below. Also, the pain in this porthole actually stopped mid-afternoon yesterday, so the pain... feels kind of numb, the porthole, since mid-afternoon yesterday. Yay! Touch wood, it stays like that now. Also, when I've been to the hospital on the 15th of October, which is in, like I say, a week and a half, something around them lines, I am allowed to do workouts. So, I'm super excited for that, you guys. Super, super, super excited to get my booty to that gym. So, that's what I'm going to be doing. Just a little bit of light stuff, you know, I might just have a speed walk on the treadmill, just little bits of light stuff like that, you know. What else? I'm just trying to think of all the stuff that I need to update you with. There was something else and it's completely blew my mind. I can't remember. I don't know, it's gone. Anyway, it's gone, so I'm going to go. So I'm going to leave it there for now. Yeah, everything's going smooth. I'm good. At the minute, I'm just a little bit worried about my mum and dad. So, give us a thumbs up for this video. Yeah, keep my mum and dad in your prayers and thoughts. And I shall see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you so much for all of your support. The last month, it has meant so much to me that you all are thinking about me and care about me. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there now. Thank you very much. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell button for notifications. If you're not yet part of the Sparkle family, please do sprinkle some glitter on that subscribe button and become part of our Sparkle family. It is free to spread that love and care around the world, so why not just make it happen? I shall see you in my next update. Bye.